Previously on Untitled Ambition Season 2, both Side A and Side B have successfully cleared their dungeon floors and now at the penultimate stage to rest up and gather all a few things and equipment before they finally face off against the most powerful final boss of this labyrinth, the Queen herself. Yes, there were a lot of stage clears in this labyrinth, and we wondered if we'd ever find the end. Meanwhile, the Princess Arya herself has become a prisoner in her own mind as thoughts of betrayal plague it. Observe.
Deep within the deepest, darkest quarters of Arya's subconscious, this happened.
This doesn't make any sense. Where am I? How's this even happening? Ever since the transfer, all I've seen here is nothing but darkness. I don't even know what's happened to my physical body. This is just too much. Brother, it's you. I don't understand. Why didn't you say anything to me about murdering Quake? I thought we were family. You're not saying anything. I need a response from you now. Why would you go so far as to do something so heinous? Are you really the criminal this world made you out to be?
Honestly, your innocence is absolutely adorable. That's the main reason we kept you around for so long. Tell me, Arya. Did you really think that we'd do everything in our power to protect you with absolutely no benefit to us in any way?
Wait, what?
Our goal was to keep you in the dark and return to Avalon as our ace in the hole. Thanks to your naivety, we would have had so much influence not just over Avalon, but the entire United Regions as a whole. The two of us would have been calling the shots while you danced for us like a puppet on strings. We were going to have it made.
I can't believe that you both would do something so insidious. Was that the plan from the beginning?
Well, not exactly. The plan was to remove Quake from the scene entirely and for Cliff to become the next king of Avalon. However, with the unexpected revelation of your existence, we decided to shift to Plan B and manipulate you for our own, selfish ambitions.
You savage, beastly monsters. I can't believe I ever thought we were friends or family. Mother was right. Humanity is so grotesque, so abominable. It's so evil. I'm beyond done with this. I'm done with Cliff. Most importantly, I'm done with you, Scarlet. You'll pay dearly for your betrayal.
These were the constant, dark thoughts being downloaded into Arya's subconscious as the Queen took control of the former's body.
Yes, the dark thoughts continue to plague her mind as she was pondering the fact of being used as a mere puppet for the two closest people that she has now to just manipulate her for their own selfish benefit. And meanwhile, this is all happening while the Queen is busy grand thefting her body and putting Arya's consciousness in prison. There's no sense behind that. But something else that didn't make any sense was the brand new rules that codename Omicron was about to lay on the remaining players. We were not prepared for this. It came out of blue, just like a lot of this stuff.
As both sides finish resting up at the diner, this happens.
Whoa, thank goodness we were able to change. I wasn't sure how long I could last with those tights on any longer. So, is that the reason why you didn't mind Iota changing your clothes before the duel? From the looks of things, you seem pretty confident, all things considered.
Stop. I needed to get into comfortable clothes before any high-speed battle. It was the ideal choice given the situation. Besides, the mech suits definitely served their purpose on the earlier floors within the labyrinth. But as for when our side fought codename Beta, yeah. Not so much.
Now that you mention it, we definitely needed the mech suits on the previous floor when both Landon and Fidelia charged their light powers to finish off the codename Psy, so I guess the suits kinda did come in clutch. But if what Iota said was true about this final boss sitting directly underneath this floor, it makes me wonder what kind of power the Queen has in her possession.
Who knows? It could even make all the other bosses prior to this one look like child's play in comparison.
Well, I hope we grabbed enough HP and SP potions, stat boosters, gear, and equipment to survive this battle. Final bosses are usually the most challenging fights of a game. At least that's what an entire childhood of gaming has taught me.
Of course. We've made it this far. We're as ready as we'll ever be.
Look, someone's appearing on the monitor.
Greetings, lovely players. This is codename Omicron coming live to congratulate your team on your resounding success in clearing the labyrinth. You all should be proud. You needn't worry. I'm not here to become your opponent. I'm a completely neutral party in this challenge. However, I'm here to convey an important message to your team. Due to a last-minute change in plans, only 4 of you will be able to challenge the final boss on the next floor below.
Wait, what? The raw nerve of that guy, who just up and decides to make a drastic last-minute change like that?
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
I see. So, the time has officially come. I guess there's no way around this.
Here are the names of the 4 players who've been invited to proceed to the next floor. The Mage Hero of Esteban, Sun Maiden, Eclipse Maiden. And last but certainly not least, the Black Rose of the Underworld, Lady Scarlet. If your names were not called, it's not personal. The Queen just simply doesn't prioritize your presence important enough to challenge her. Once you 4 have made your final preparations, there's a nearby portal waiting to escort you all below. So in the meantime, ciao.
I swear, if it isn't one thing, it's another with these Avalon Vanguard members. I mean, like, seriously. This is like one of the rare indications where I actually felt like shooting the messenger. But I digress. We followed the rules, got our remaining stuff, our remaining 4 players, and went to the next floor. And yeah, it was definitely something, a sight to behold. Well, this is quite the exotic location for a final boss fight to happen. It looks straight out of a mythical scene from a fairy tale. How can we find Princess Arya in a place like this?
I agree. This place looks like it came directly from a space fantasy movie. However, there's something a bit more daunting. Take a look over there.
Okay, I see a pair of steps over there with an empty socket on the top pedestal. Why?
Quake's legendary relic, Excalibur, has been removed from that pedestal. Only the next successor can wield it. If that's the case, then we're already too late to save Arya.
Too late? Why is that exactly?
My dear Scarlet, don't tell me that you even kept your new comrades in the dark. Such a callous woman, you are. I must say, Lady Scarlet, your forces have certainly taken your sweet time getting here. I almost thought you 4 would never have shown up. But, you know the age-old saying? Better late than never.
No. That sword strapped to your side. That's Excalibur. So, it's true. You've already made the switch.
What do you think? Do you like my little upgrade? Who knew being the successor to an ancient relic would come with so many unique benefits? It's like I can finally start my life over. This time, with a brand new clean slate. Amazing, isn't it?
Wait. Judging from your scent, you're not Lady Arya, are you?
Precisely. I'm Queen Lionheart, now in complete control over Arya's body. Be amazed by my splendor.
That's nothing to boast about. As my would-have-been mother-in-law, that's beyond wrong on so many levels. You've stripped my would-have-been sister-in-law from having a life of her own to make yourself feel better, thanks to your past mistakes. If that doesn't define selfishness, I don't know what else does.
How dare you? You know absolutely nothing about me. I was the faithful one in our marriage, until that Jezebel entered our lives and ruined everything. I wouldn't expect a reclusive, orphan girl like you to understand what it's like to give your all in a marriage, only for your husband to constantly compare you to his illicit mistress. Then find out later on down the line that your husband had a secret love child with said mistress, putting the little bastard in line to inherit the throne. So, I did what I believed was necessary. So if there was even the slightest chance of me to start my life over and try again using Arya as a placeholder, I'd take the first chance I get. This is that chance.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. That's an interesting state of affairs to deal with. I mean, your actions were more than justifiable, but they weren't right though. I mean, don't you feel just slightly bad for doing this to your artificially created daughter? I mean, all she ever wanted was to please you.
Oh, she's done just that. She was created for this purpose as a fail-safe, if anything happened to Quake. Her Lionheart crest is the main reason I have access to this power to be reborn. But, I didn't invite you here to talk about ethics, Mage Hero. I have a one-of-a-kind offer that I'd encourage you to consider. Would you care to hear about it?
Okay. Alright, I kinda zoned out when she was trying to paint her offer as some kind of sweet kid friendly little deal going on by making me the next commander-in-chief of the Vanguard, promising a life filled with power, influence, and connections beyond my wildest dreams. I mean, there isn't too many places that you can go in the United Regions and people shrug their shoulders with you being the commander. However, her true motives were much more subtle. She was doing everything in her power to, bend me to her will with promises of, a life full of pleasure coming from her, even if it came down to it. Not saying that she couldn't pull it off. I mean, she was a very, very, very attractive entity. I mean, just like seriously. And she had a lot of power and resources at her beck and call. And I was positioned in line to receive that power. But there is a powerful thing we had to reconsider. That's right. It is a powerful word called betrayal. I was going to sacrifice all that in exchange for the true loyalty I received back during my time when I had nothing, during my highs and my lows, the one that was with me through it all, and that was Fidelia. For me to turn my back on that for something like this was completely inconceivable, so I knew I had to cut her off right then and there. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, sweetheart. You're painting me a pretty picture, no doubt, with the promise of exceptional power and influence within Avalon. But you can't discuss that without discussing ethical matters. You're telling me about all my benefits, but what about my partner, Fidelia? Where does she fit in all this?
What's so special about her? I can definitely provide you with a more fulfilling life than you just being a mere guild leader in a desert country. I'd see to it that you're taken care of, even if I personally have to do it myself.
Whoa, sweetheart, you do know my partner is right here watching you say all that, don't you?
And what of it? Fairies are ranked below we of Crusader lineage. It's like a mere butterfly trying to challenge your lioness.
She's more off the rails than we thought.
That right there is what I'm talking about. Do you really expect me to work with someone with that kind of mindset? If you see my partner here as a mere insect and yourself as a lioness, I can only imagine how you view the less fortunate. It's a rhetorical question, don't answer that, but I am quite curious. As rich as you are, do you even give to the poor?
Of course. I give all the time during major charity events. I'm known to be quite generous to the common folk.
Oh really? Do you give even when the cameras aren't clicking, film isn't rolling, or when the social media influencers aren't streaming?
Whoa, he actually went there.
That right there is the last and final strike against your offer. I can't work under someone so superficial. While you were born and raised in your pristine ivory tower, There were those of us who were in that dirty, got out of that dirty, made sure to keep those we helped from getting into that dirty. Fidelia was with me through it all. If you think I'm going to trade true loyalty like that for superficiality like this, you're gravely mistaken.
You. How dare you? You have no idea the grave mistake you're making by declining my offer. Perhaps if you see a glimpse of my power, you'd more than likely rethink your defiance.
My goodness. It appears we've made her angry.
And so Mistress Lionheart was through with negotiations and decided to unleash her godlike powers against the 4 players.
And then before we knew it, lightning bolts flashed everywhere as Mistress Lionheart unleashed her prism of light upon each and every one of us. It was crazy.